There's no food here, Opie.
Is Opie begging for food?
He's over here like I got it. Oh, Domenico's eating a chocolate-covered strawberry.
So Opie comes out and looks for the food when the sounds of food happens.
Right.
All right, man. So we're live, brother, man. So maybe you give me the microphone checker 1212 on that Facebook page and whatever else, and we'll see.
I'm sorry. I was in the middle of buying something on Facebook, so I had to close that.
Wait, whoa. You're buying stuff on Facebook? Dude, that's not very safe, man. You should be buying stuff on Amazon or whatever, right?
Have you started?
Yeah, we started.
Oh, okay.
Why, what's up? You can.
I was going to tell you a funny story.
All right, man. Dominic, I still want to hear that story.
You can still.
No.
Oh.
You know.
Stacy Clark, how you doing? Hello from Cali, guys and gals. She says we can hear you. Beautiful.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Mic check once. Oh, look at guys.
Guys, listen to this. Listen. Look at this.
Look, I got a mic now too because I'm fancy like Mr. Shane Liquid.
Wow! I feel like it's dude, that thing's pretty awesome, man. Is that a blue Yeti? What is that? A blue?
Yeah, it's
you called it a blue something.
It is Yeti. It's blue. It's called Blue Snowball.
Dude, that's outstanding, man. I love that. I don't even know what a blue snowball is, but I got to tell you, it looks pretty awesome, man. The way that thing's filling the screen.
Don't Google blue waffle.
No.
Don't do it. It has nothing to do with blue snowball, but I just felt like I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, as he drinks his lemon shandy, man. I love it. Lemon shandy. Well played.
So there's a tornado warning.
Massive thunderstorms.
I got a tornado warning. My son alerted me, and that came on my phone. So that's why I'm a little late. But I had to move all the patio furniture and stuff. We don't get tornadoes in New England,
dude. I know they said we're in a pretty tough spot tonight. So Valerie Belisle says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Hey, Valerie, how you doing? Off of YouTube.
Oh, hi, Valerie.
Denise says hello too. Look at that off of YouTube. We got a couple YouTube users tonight. What's going on, folks?
Bunch of tubers.
Yeah, so I have my potato water and Crystal Light going on tonight, man. So you got the lemon shandy going on.
Wait a second.
What's up?
What did you say? What are you drinking?
Potato water. You know what potato water is?
Wait a second. Hold on.
Come on, man. Think about it.
I'm thinking, all right, hot dog water is water you boil hot dogs in. Is that what potato water is?
That water is gross.
Are you telling me you boil potatoes, save the water, and drink it?
No, man, no. I just call it's my nickname for vodka, man. It's all it is.
That is something else, man. Come on.
That's how we do it up in Maine, man. We grow potatoes up here, man.
That is a horrible nickname for any beverage.
Yeah, listen, it tastes good, man. I'm in a good spot, man. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Vodka in your coffee mug? We need to
vodka.
Talk.
Well, it's not a coffee mug. It's kind of remember these are the things that Red got us. Red bought us these Yeti mugs or whatever they are.
You realize how big that is? I can't make out what that's better. It still looks like a coffee mug. I'm sorry.
Well, it really is still pretty large, but it's against the massive cranium that I have right here. So it's small compared to that thing.
Enormous. And it looks like the thermos I brought to school as a youngster in my He-Man lunchbox.
Yep, that about sums it up. Yep. Oh, Lori says vodka. Call it vodka, not potato water. Yeah, see, everybody's all like,
yeah, Lori says,
look, I got other people saying potato
water. I never heard
ginger.
I never heard that nonsense before. It's a tumbler.
Well, I bring in new stuff to you.
Mary says it's a tumbler.
A tumbler. It's a tumbler. You got to say it with an AH on the end of it. Tumbler. All right, let's see here. Let me get caught up here. I got a couple comments coming in. Lori Kearns says, hi, guys. Lori, listen, I just want to throw a shout out to you real quick. I've been watching. You've been running your tail off and really busting your rump out there, doing everything you got to do during this whole entire COVID and everything else. Kudos to you. You are out there making it happen. No matter what, you have not veered off course, and you should be proud of yourself. I'm really proud of you.
That's awesome.
Let's see here.
Congratulations.
Valerie says, just got done my Oprah worksheet, and you guys popped up. You know, hey, listen, if we can pop up after an Oprah worksheet, that's what I'm talking about, man. Hey,
oh, yeah.
You know?
Oprah's got a big Zoom meeting type thing tomorrow morning, I guess, apparently.
Is it with the Weight Watchers people, or is it with just an Oprah thing?
Isn't that one and the same? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is kind of the same. But you know how she has her Oprah stuff, her own network, and all of her stuff that she does.
I mean, it's all over the dub.
Gotcha.
Stuff,
The
so
dub.
I'm sure it's
Hey,
related.
whoa. Who agreed with me that it's called potato water? Look at potato water and diet ginger ale. You gotta let me know who that person is.
You're so behind on these comments, so I gotta go.
All right, man. I'm rolling.
Claire Hertz.
Okay. Hi, Claire. Thank you so much for agreeing with me. Hey, look who it is. Judy.
It's Jude.
Hi, my handsomes. Oh, Judy. Listen, we love you. So glad you're here.
She's talking to me and that guy.
Oh, hey. Oh, dude. That's not very nice, man. That's not very nice.
So I've never heard potato water before, so
yeah,
I assumed that.
Listen, it's me trying to be cool, and I'm not cool. So I should just call it vodka, and that's the way it should be.
It's not cool. I mean, I might not be cool because apparently I'm not in the know.
Well, listen, when you roll around with a Tops hat like that, with a Red Sox Tops hat like that, you're pretty cool. So, I'm jealous.
This isn't a top hat.
It's Tops. Topps.
Yes, Tops. But I mean, am I wrong to say I'm like hot dog water? I'm thinking you boil hot dogs in
you're not wrong. Water. You're not wrong.
Potato water. I'm thinking is this some new crazy Shane like? I'm gonna clear myself out type,
It's a colon cleansing kind of thing. You gotta cleanse it out.
Thinking. I mean, you were a vegetarian for like 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe this has something to do with it.
I was, man. I did not stick with that very long. I just couldn't do it, man. I needed to eat some meat, man. It's pretty bad. All right, so let's see here.
So that's 4 Saturdays in a row is doing her thing. I think that's what she was saying.
Oh, Valerie was 4 Saturdays in a row. Okay, nice. Great job, Valerie. Awesome job. Let's see. I'm betting that we'll get overloaded. That must be the Oprah thing with everybody hopping on. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I think I'm getting caught up now. Good. Judy repeated with hi, my handsomes. I like it. Okay, good. So, John, all right, listen. So you and I caught up a little bit before this whole 2 kitchens and a microphone episode that we got going on here. You notice how I had to do like I'm spinning a record when I say that. Yep. But I wanted to say to you something that you and I were talking about is around overcoming stuff that is thrown at you that you're not really expecting, or stuff that you actually are planning a long time for to be able to do, and then all of a sudden it's told, nope, can't do that, whether it's through COVID or whatever, like weddings that people were planning or receptions that people were planning, or for you, in your instance, a boxing match that you had planned for and trained for. And we talked a lot about having to be able to process through all of this crazy times that we're processing through. So tell me a little bit more, man.
It's dealing with, I mean, that's I don't want to be a downer, I mean, but
you're not. It's a reality, John. It's a reality.
Yeah, it's the world we're living in right now. We're dealing with COVID-19, the pandemic, all that stuff. With lots of science behind all that stuff.
Right.
So we're not going to get political, but
no politics.
It's just, we have postponed weddings and all kinds of events, graduations that aren't happening, all these things. It's a huge bummer and a letdown, especially for those kids. I mean, imagine graduating college or high school, and I mean, now with what's going on and dealing with that, it's great. No proms, people are getting creative, but it's a bummer, and it's, there's a lot of emotion that's involved with that, so
there is.
How do you deal with that stuff? I mean, do you just go with it? Like, okay, well, we're not going to have a prom, so let's have a Zoom prom. We're not going to have a graduation. So, I mean, I'm so used to the car horns, you hear car horns all the time. Baby, baby, baby. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's another birthday parade. You know what I mean? It's just, now that's the normal thing. It's, oh, look, I see a bunch of people on the side of the road getting ready to do their parade, to do their drive-by.
Right.
And they get their big poster boards and they're beeping their horns. And it's just a whole new world that we're living in. But it can be a huge letdown. And I know for me, I eat my emotions.
Right. Yeah.
And I was training for a fight for 4 months. in a big event, a big charity event, and it got postponed and then postponed again, and now it's indefinitely postponed. So I don't even know when it's going to happen. I was actually, the fight was supposed to happen last night originally.
The original date, yeah. I would have been there in the stands. I would have been there right with you.
But I'm supposed to fundraise.
Right.
I'm committed to raise $10,000. How can you even ask for donations in a time like this when there's so much uncertainty? People are out of work. People don't know when, they're living week to week, even worse than, even if they were already in a jam, and living paycheck to paycheck. Now it's like, you don't know what the future is going to hold.
Right.
So there's a lot of emotion going on. And I don't know. For me, I dive right into like my old habits. So it's hard.
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot in the past on previous episodes, as friends, as just in general. We talk a lot about, how do you navigate the space? What do you do to be able to set yourself up for success and stuff like that? And the other thing I got to remember all the time, because I do the podcast, I do all this other stuff that's all about positivity and trying to be able to play in that space. I have to remember sometimes, though, that like at first when I was hearing about the graduation pieces, right, I was like, okay, I get it, guys. We're trying to be able to navigate through. But then my wife looked at me and she said to me, she goes, Shane, listen, you have no idea what these kids are going through. They planned their whole senior year built around the graduation, built around this whole celebration piece of it. And I was like, holy crap, man, you're absolutely right. I didn't really think about it and put myself in those shoes. But then I think to myself, man, I can't even imagine what these kids are going through. And then, John, to be honest with you, I know you personally. I know you, how much work you put in, how much training you've been doing, the mindset of trying to get yourself worked up to the fact that you got to get into a ring for 3 rounds to fight somebody, along with all the other stuff like, fundraising and everything else. So I get it, man. I get it. And I don't know if there's any good answer to the fact of how do you process through that, because we're in such a weird place. Have we ever been here before? No, not really. Right. Never. And I feel like by us talking about this stuff and being able to have a conversation about it can help others, though, to be able to say, okay, you know what? I feel like if John struggles with it at that moment in time, so do I. It's okay to struggle. You just got to be able to try to pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Like someplace, somewhere, not quiet down and not close off, but more so go, hey, you know what? I get what he's going through. It's pretty cool that he's going through that with me, although it's not cool that he's going through that situation. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. I brought this up to Shane the other day after our last live stream, where I said I had read something that really I connected with, and it was because this is when I struggle, I get quiet, I disappear.
Yep, you do.
And it said only the people who really care about you hear you when you're silent. And I mean, it's always who's checking in on you when you're quiet. You know what I mean? It's always the people who really care and love you, and
it's so true.
I don't want to get mushy. Of course, Shane's always check. He knows as soon as I get quiet, he's like, man, you all right? Let's talk, and he'll hit me up he'll keep sending me Marco Polo videos. He'll send me 1, 5, 6, 7. I won't even answer him, and he's like, you okay? You alive? What's going on?
Yeah.
But we all deal with things differently. But me, when I struggle with anything, I get really quiet. I go on my shell whenever and that's when you need a support system more than anything.
Right.
And that's what happens to me. But it's people like you, Shane, and people who really care about you that pull you out of that.
No, I agree. And that was one of the things that I was talking about. I was thinking about as you and I were chatting about what we wanted to kind of go over. And I was thinking to myself, I sat back and I said, I have a network of people in my portfolio, right? Of people that I know that I can tap into. And to be honest with you, John, on those Marcos, if anybody's familiar with Marco, basically what it is video clips that you send back and forth to each other. And so I may have 5 Marcos in a row, but I'm looking at those 5 Marcos going, every single time it's me being able to connect with you. Even if I know you read it and I know you see it, but at the moment in time, you're like, all right, man, I'm not really feeling it right now or whatever. Got this, that, and whatever going on. The fact of the matter is I know that you're in my corner and I know that I've got you and you've got me. I think that's for anybody on this whole entire live cast right now. If you guys have somebody in your network, your tribe, the people that you have that you know are true friends and true people that are in your corner, no matter what, how you're feeling or wherever you're at. Feel free to reach out to those people to connect with them during these times, because it can be difficult. All this stuff can be so emotional and so overwhelming. I mean, I know we're deep right now, but it's the truth. It's how we're feeling right now. You know what I mean? It's literally, you need people in your corner.
Yeah, I don't want to be a huge downer. I don't want to bring the mood,
You're not.
somber, but it's just what we're dealing with right now.
Yes.
It's just navigating this time, and it's I can't imagine. I'm sorry. First of all, I've been working. I missed like 2 weeks through this whole thing, but I've been working. Here in Boston, Mass. I'm considered an essential worker.
Yep.
So I've been working straight through this, but I'm still feeling it. You know what I mean? I'm nervous to go to work. I'm nervous to go to, the grocery store. I know we talked about that. I don't want to bring home to my family. I have Dominica's immune compromised. I have 2 kids at home. Like, I want to keep everyone safe. So I'm a nervous wreck. I get a lot of anxiety over that stuff. But I have my family here with me. I can't even imagine if someone's alone.
Right.
Alone going through this with nobody with them. They're not working. They're home. Like, that's got to be difficult.
No, I agree. I'm glad you brought it up though, John, because I think that it's sometimes from a perspective of trying, me, whenever I'm doing podcasts or I'm doing whatever inspirational stuff, or I'm trying to be able to bring some blogging into play, I usually talk about my journey. And here's the thing, like yourself, right? I have a wife and a kid that are at home with me. I have a friend right now that lives that he's by himself. He doesn't have a wife, girlfriend, nothing, no kids. Has one parent that they're in a elderly home, right? And he's by himself. He's literally going through all this stuff by himself, and he's literally like, I can't go to the bar. I can't go hang out with my friends. I can't go to the barber to go get a good cut to be able to chill out with a bro time and stuff like that. I can't do any of this stuff, so I don't really know how to be able to process through that. So he's leaning in on me, and I'm like, listen. You have to find what matters to you, whatever it is that matters to you. You got to keep on leaning in on that. And I think that was one of the things that I was thinking of as you and I were talking, John, was around finding a silver lining and whatever you can find. Like somewhere, somehow, we can find something that matters to us that's a positive light for us, because I have to do it too. Like, I get up in the morning. You know what I did yesterday, John? I woke up in the morning. I got up. And I was having a real crappy morning. I woke up, got my coffee, and I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it, man. I'm quarantined. I'm stuck inside the house. Now, mind you, I'm not essential and I'm not out in the elements or whatever, but I'm stuck in front of this computer 9-10 hours a day. And I'm sitting there going through meetings and Zoom meetings after Zoom meetings. And I'm just like buried. And so I got up at around 6:30 or whatever. I got up with the wife. We went down to the garden boxes and we planted cucumbers, zucchini, strawberries, all kinds of stuff, right? I got this thing done, and I got done with it, and I sat back with my coffee, and I said, I feel accomplished right now. I feel like that was my silver lining at this moment in time, because I feel like crap right now, but I feel like I did something. I did something that's accomplishing something. I felt like I was able to put one foot in front of the other and move things forward in a place where it's hard to find that positivity. You know what I mean? So yeah. It set the tone for the rest of the day, man. I was ready to take on the world the rest of the day. It was interesting on how I started my day off on the right foot to be able to do that. It was interesting.
I'm wondering, maybe that's something that you'll get more involved in.
Right.
When things go back to normal, what is normal going to look like? But I mean, maybe you'll get more involved with gardening. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who knows? How are you dealing with this stuff? Everyone out there listening, how are you dealing with this, these big cancellations of these events, and how are you dealing with your emotions, and not eating your emotions, or how are you dealing with, like if you're like me and you get quiet, when you struggle the most? What are you guys doing? We know Shane's gardening. We know Shane's painting rocks.
I am
leaving them around the neighborhood with
hey, look at this, man. Look at this. So remember I told you that artwork sometimes it soothes me and it gets me like, I got to get look at this, man. This is what I've been doing. Look at these little lines, John. Look at this.
What is that?
I drew this. I drew all these little black lines as I
Okay.
was going through stress at nighttime, and I
Listen.
wanted to eat, and I wanted to do whatever. I colored that
Hold
in.
on.
Look, it's like
Wait a second.
camouflage.
I'm not a qualified person, but I think that you're a lunatic. Like, I think that you maybe, like, you might have a problem. You might kill somebody.
I was like,
you heard it here first, okay?
I need to release my stress. I'm lining these things out, and then I went to coloring, and it was great. It was fantastic.
It's like something you see on a wall of a padded cell of like some person that's gonna hurt somebody.
Oh man, I love it. All right, let's see. Everybody needs to find a tribe. It helps get through all the stuff. Denise, I couldn't agree with you more. Finding people that that matter to you that you can lean in on is a really important piece. Love seeing Mud WK pics.
The work pictures. So I think it's funny. It's I don't share a lot of the pictures of my work, what I do for my living, a lot of the decorative concrete floors and stuff. People seem to really like it. I don't know. Maybe I'll start sharing more of it, but I've been getting a lot of comments. Yeah.
I love it. I love because I find there to be, although you think of it as grunt work with the mud hustler and really kind of laying some stuff out or whatever, I find it to be super artistic, and I find it to be something that I'm like, wow, look at the crazy size of that accomplishment that you guys did. When you and your dad were on the site the other day, and I saw the size of the patio or the size of
that was a driveway. It was like almost
huge
square feet. That was a big one.
I was like, man, it takes talent to be able to level that out, to be able to do everything. And then seeing your pops down there, like leveling stuff out. I was like, what's up, Papa Mud? I love it. I love it.
Yeah. We got the old man out there.
Yeah. All right. I'm alone, not working. I'm a school nurse. Good neighbors. Started making masks to keep busy. So I don't know who that was on Facebook that said that, but I'll tell you, my stepmother.
Steinberg.
Okay. Yeah, so my stepmother, she's alone too. I just lost my dad back in August, and she's kind of at the house. So she's been pumping through 60 or 70 masks for essential personnel, for the police force, and some of the sheriffs around the local area and stuff like that. So she's found ways to be able to invest in others, even though she's alone and she's kind of by herself, even though we have family and we're on virtual meetings or whatever, but it's still, she's by herself. And so that's a way that you found a way to be able to start to stay busy by making masks and investing in other people. I think that's a really great best practice.
Sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's great.
Opportunity during crazy times. Gardening is an anchor. I agree 100%. 100%. Somebody started grad school. Holy moly, that's fantastic. You're investing in yourself during this time frame to be able to keep moving forward. I love it. That's really great. Let's see. Yeah. Making cards and sending them out to people. So I'm going to call out Denise Harley Girl, because I've never seen somebody that puts so much thought and so much heart into the cards that she sends to people. I've been the recipient of a few of these. My wife has been a couple recipients of them. She sends out these really thoughtful, really well thought out things. And she goes to like a group that they do it together. And it's really amazing. So Denise, that's a really good best practice. Investing in other people while we're going through all this to be able to continue to move forward. Let's see. I'm making myself walk at least 30 minutes a day outside. I have a beautiful place to walk with animals and birds and flowers. My happy place. There you go.
Yeah.
Another thing to be able to continue to lean in on. And John, even though outside of the fact that you're kind of struggling with the fact that they might be that they postponed it indefinitely, you're still working out. You're still doing some exercise to be able to keep that moving forward, right? Maybe not as much as what you were, but
it's a funny thing. First of all, it's not. It's unnatural for me. I'm not a boxer,
right.
Anyone who's familiar with boxing, there's a lot involved, and it's a mind game. It's so mental. All the physical stuff that any of the athletics that I did as growing up, all the weightlifting that I do, none of that prepares me for getting in the ring. So there's so much involved physically and mentally training for a boxing match. And
right.
The training is intense, and especially when it gets closer to fight time. So you can't continue to train like that, and you can't continue that diet for such a long period of time. It's like, if you know anyone, if you've ever watched any boxing, like behind the scenes, they start training 2 months out, for a fight, 4 months out, 2 months out. It gets intense as it gets closer. And then you can't get too intense because you burn yourself out. So it's been crazy with this whole thing.
Right.
And I don't have a trainer right now. I don't have all the guys that train me at the gym. I got what I have at home, but it's not the same.
No.
And it's I don't feel prepared. So
right.
And now I'm starting to second guess myself. What did I get myself into?
Right.
Is this really something I want to do? It's just the mind game thing. It's fun. There's a lot of guys that are dropping out. Today, another guy, he dropped out.
Oh, really?
He's a cancer survivor, and he was fighting, and he just announced he's like,
because you're at level 90 as you're training and you're getting to where you got to get to, training to get to where you got to get to, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, we're going to postpone that. You're like, okay, and then you got to postpone it again. So you're training, and then you got to postpone it again, dude. Right. I get that, man. You're just trying to be able to get yourself to where you need to be.
Yeah, it's I'm dealing with it, but it's definitely messing with my head.
Paulie P over there. I got that right? Paulie P. What's going on? He's getting a lot of house projects done. Pavilion is almost done, and then I'll find another one to do. So yeah. I find a lot of house projects getting done, man. A lot of stuff is getting done around the places that we got to find stuff to do.
Yeah, Paul's place is looking pretty good. He's got a lot going on there.
Is it? Nice. Yeah, you have the inside scoop down there in the Massachusetts sticks that you live in.
Come on, wait a second. You live in Maine, dude. What?
No, it's understood that if you live in Maine, you live in the sticks. When you live in Mass, you don't think that way. You live in the sticks, my friend. You have squirrels, groundhogs, foxes, deer, all in your backyard.
Listen, I'm a city boy that lives in the country now, but come on, you can't call this the sticks. All right, it's the sticks, but still, it's
exactly.
Yeah, Paul's my only friend in Groveland.
Nice.
Paul and Nancy, him and his wife.
You got to take care of my boy down there, man. I miss hanging out with him, smoking cigars and hanging out.
Yeah, me and Paul have a blast when we're together. So.
Good. My wife says over here, I'm exercising, cleaning, baking for neighbors, painting rocks, and walking the dog 100 times a day. Exactly. Our dog literally runs her on a leash. Not her running him. He runs her on a leash. It's pretty scary. Let's see. When I get frustrated, I get my hammer and hit something. There you go. I don't know who that was on Facebook, but they get the hammer and hit something. They take their frustration out on stuff.
That was Rick. That's Rock Hill Rick. He's just.
I wish I could show you guys the picture of the chairs that Rick has been making over the last 3 to 4 weeks down there in South Carolina. And he calls them his COVID-19 chairs. And he took this cherry wood and walnut wood and bent it in this way and made these beautiful antique looking woven chairs that I'm like, Rick, you have no idea how talented you actually are with that stuff. You just do it.
Well, Rick's made us some pretty special gifts as well.
I totally agree, man. Totally heartwarming stuff that every day I look right up here, man. I see that little wooden carving on my wall, man. It's so fantastic.
Shane, you got to build a pergola.
Go ahead. What's up?
Your wife wants you to build a pergola.
I know. She's
get on that.
Listen, why did she bring that up? Why is she bringing up the fact that she wants the pergola built? You got
to blame Paulie P.
I'm going to have to look at it. Let's see. I'm in Western Nebraska. Somebody says, that's the sticks. Janelle says that is the sticks. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing, right? So I love this. We've talked about household chores. We talked about exercising. We talked about doing some stuff to try to stay active and try to keep your mind off of the task at hand or the overall feeling of everything. So these are really great things. One of the other big things is, and I'm just going to say it because I know we said we're not going to get political or anything like that, but I feel if you stop watching the news as much and you stop really hunkering down on all the negativity that's out there, you could probably get more things accomplished if you just step away a little bit instead of just leaning into what you hear left and right all over the place with politics and news and everything else. But I'll tell you, here's one of the things that I wanted to share that I feel works for me. And it's been working for me throughout this whole entire process because I've been continually staying active on social media and continuing to put, live casts and podcasts. And I've been really keeping, a good flow with it. But one of the things that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do one positive thing a day, John. I'm trying to be able to say, what's one thing in my life right now that's good, right? Out of all the negative things, out of all the stuff that's happening, all the stuff that's thrown at us, all the other stuff, the one thing that I know is good for me is such and such, whether it's family, whether it's my health, whether it's the fact that my kids are healthy or whatever. I always try to lean on that one thing that I know that I can really park in the space of to get my head wrapped around a way to be able to cope with some of this stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel it's important to be able to remember that piece of it, because everybody's got at least one thing that they're proud of or that is positive in their life, right? I know you do, and I know other folks do. It's just hard to be able to pick those things out sometimes.
Yeah. So is it one thing every day, or is it just always the same one thing?
Yep.
Oh, so it's several one things.
Yeah. So for me, I may use some back to back, but what I try to do is one of a couple things. I try to be able to, like when I first wake up, because that's when I'm the grumpiest, man. If I'm pre-coffee, I'm like, get out of my way, I need coffee. But I literally sit down and I say, okay, if I'm having a crappy morning, what's the one thing today, right now, that I can celebrate in that's good? Whether it's my job that still pays the bills, whether it's my family's health, my son's, he's such a good kid or whatever else. And I write that down, and I either put that on the mirror when I'm going through trying to be able to shave up this gross cut that I got going on that I need to get to the barbershop with or whatever. I layer it up there to be able to make sure that that's how I set my day off right, to set me off on the right tone,
Yeah.
So it's something that works for me, Let's see.
I'm like, it's funny. It's hard for me to be positive towards myself. I get so negative. It's easy for me to root everyone else on, but I look in the mirror and I'll just pick myself apart. It's tough, man.
But that's human nature, John. We as humans break ourselves down. Every one of us always talk about the negatives. We say we're fat, we're overweight, we're not structured.
Don't say that. Come on now.
Yeah. Listen, I've said that to myself 1,000 times. What are you kidding me?
That's not what I'm saying to myself in the mirror.
Oh man, I love it. All right. Yes, thank you, Denise. Let's see what else we got. We got Valerie says, "Yep, I had to stop watching." Oh, the news, and all the negativity. Yep.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's funny. I mean, I feel like 24-hour news channels are just it's. Oh wow, there is some serious thunder and lightning going on here.
Oh, it's rolling up to us. Yep.
Sorry, but I think it hurts us more than anything. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. And it's hard to shut it off.
It is.
But see, I didn't want to go down this road, but everything gets so politicized, and
it does.
It's because you have political reporters reporting regular news now. It's crazy. It's like 24-hour news needs to disappear.
I told my wife, I said to Crystal, I said, babe, if I could watch the news for the half hour from 6:30 to 7, the national news, and catch up on whatever I got to catch up on, I'm good to go with it. The half hour, I'm all set. If I watch any more than that, I literally want to shoot myself in the head. It's just bad news, man. No thanks.
I'm in the bad habit of constantly having it on. So it's
right. And so I think so is she sometimes. I'm always like, you got to turn it off. Turn it off.
It's just, yeah. All right. Let's get away from that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. That's all right. Listen, but here's the thing, right? So we talked about how do we process through it? What are some tools and practices we can put in place to be able to, navigate this weird space that we're in with negativity or things failing and those kind of things? And how do we keep moving forward? Think about some positive items, be able to continue to try to play in that space. Those are really good practices, man. That's good stuff to be able to try to at least incorporate a little bit of in this time. Denise just asked, is there any squirrel news, man? I just put it up there on the screen. Any squirrel news?
So for anyone who doesn't know the squirrel episode, you can find, we have, it's well documented.
It is. It's chronicled.
Yes. I did some videos of my wife on Mud Hustler documenting the whole situation from falling through the ceiling and all that good stuff.
Which I could not stop laughing at.
I'll be honest. I wish I remembered who it was. But on one of these lives, someone had recommended a strobe light. Squirrels do not like strobe lights. Now, how they knew that, I don't know. I just happened to take the advice. There was nothing else was working. The traps, the squirrel's getting the bait, and he's like giving me the middle finger, and he's getting fat and oh, I didn't know what the hell you were doing. I don't know what just happened.
He's grabbing the peanuts, man. He's grabbing the peanuts, going ah.
So he's just we couldn't get rid of him, and I just gave up finally, and I hung the strobe light, and one night he just wouldn't stop. We heard him up there, and I went up there, and when I go up there, I can't find him because he's hiding. So I'm like, you know what? I'm plugging this strobe light in. I set it up. I hung it in the attic. I turned it on, and he hasn't been back since. So that's
really.
We're going on week number 3 now, or 2. So
I'm crossing my fingers for you.
So the strobe light, who knew?
Wow. I never would have thought strobe lights would have worked. Dude, it's just the same thing. We have a woodpecker that's on the side of my house that drills these little holes in the wood of my house. And some person told me if you put a big like bullseye sign on the side of your house, the woodpeckers will never come back again. I haven't tried that yet. But I'm like, oh, are you trying to joke with me? Are you trying to mess with me? Just like when somebody says strobe lights, I'm like, what do you want, a dance party? I mean, really?
Well, I'm like, how ridiculous is that? I'm like, all right. But for us at this point, this squirrel, he's having a dance party anyway. He's up at 3 a.m. and he's just rolling nuts or whatever he's doing right above our heads when we're sleeping.
Rolling nuts.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. He's bowling, and
he's rolling nuts.
I said nuts. Yeah, rolling nuts. I don't know. Whatever. That's what Dominica said. But
I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? You have a happy wife though, because she was freaking out over the fact that when you were sleeping, she was up all night.
No, he was waking me up too eventually. Yeah. But I'm a heavy sleeper, but he was getting me up too. And I was like, what? It can't hurt. And if you guys followed the story, Dominica locked me in the attic, so I cleaned the attic and I found a strobe light. You know what I thought of when she told me that story? I thought of when Chevy Chase was in the attic for the Christmas Vacation. That is my life. Christmas Vacation.
And then you're watching old movies of yourself, and you're like,
I'm wearing a shawl.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you were telling me that, but I didn't reference that because I was like, well, it wasn't really Christmassy, but you know what? You still had a squirrel in your attic and you still were able to work with it. Well, so
if you remember, he fell through the attic too, just like Dominica did.
He did. Wait a minute, just like Dominica did. I thought you fell through the attic.
No, man. She fell right through the attic.
Wow. I thought that was you. I thought that was you, to be honest. Okay, gotcha.
I'm like a ninja. I would never fall through the attic.
No, you wouldn't step on the internal parts.
No, I'm like a highly trained athlete. That's not gonna happen. My wife is the one that she can't handle it. She went right through.
You gotta walk on the beams. You can't walk on the drywall.
Walk on the sheetrock. No,
right. You can't do it. You can't do it. All right, man. Well, listen, I think we had some good stuff here tonight, man. I think it was I appreciate you opening up, John, to be honest with you, on how you're feeling about the boxing match and everything else. I don't know. Is that what it's called? A boxing match, or is it called a boxing bout?
Oh, whatever. Want, man. I don't know. I'm no.
Right.
I'm a novice as well. I don't know what it is.
Me neither. But by the way, I did love the photo you had earlier of you smoking a cigar. I cannot wait till it comes to the day that you and I are sitting back with a glass of scotch and a nice cigar. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to that day.
I'm enjoying this. I like this. It's cool. I feel like I'm hanging out with you.
Me too.
But I do miss every Friday night.
I know.
We used to drive to Massachusetts and spend hours with me, and we'd have a lot of laughs, have a couple of drinks.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We got a lot of great comments coming in. Love you guys. Great talk, guys. Stay on the beam. We got some other people stay on the beam. You too. My beautiful wife that's in the other room right now says night all. Hey, John, tell Dominica that we love her and I miss her too. You know what I mean? Coming down there and just hanging out and stuff like that. But listen, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining this live cast here on No Finish Line Nation and on the YouTube channel. Share it with friends and family or whoever else that just wants to be able to talk about stuff that's going on and being able to just have some fun on Friday nights with John and I. We love having you.
Just come hang out with us.
Yeah, it's been great. All right, guys. So have a great night. I think I'm going to share a couple more comments here. We got Valerie says this was great. Thanks for sharing, guys. Thanks, Valerie. I appreciate that. And then I'm so glad I dropped in. I needed this. This is really what it's all about. I don't really care even how many viewers we have or whatever else. The fact of the matter is that people have a little bit of an outlet to be able to sit down and just talk about, feel like you're connecting with friends and family and everybody else. And everybody that's in No Finish Line Nation right now, you're your family. Everybody, all 40,000 people are family. And then on YouTube, I think there's 1,000 people that follow us on our YouTube channel. On 2 kitchen tables and a microphone, your family too. And that's what this is all about. We're going to be able to continue to push forward, We love you too, Tiffany. Appreciate that. All right, John, anything else to be able to add on to at the end here?
No, everyone have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you Friday.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next Friday. All right, we'll talk later. Adios.